Do people in Canada have cable, like other people?
We keep this up in the playoffs. I don't care.
And at Chili's. Is it a Chili's? At Kyle's?
Achilles.
Finally.
You don't know that?
Fuck you! Get this guy the fuck out of here!
Alright, well, coming in at number 5, I got Anthony Stolars.
Now! Jets are winning the cup!
Thank you for watching and listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NordCast. It is Thursday, September 18th. Almost forgot what day it was. 2025. I am your host here, Nordic97, joined with Carter. Carter, how are we doing?
Doing good. Hockey is almost back. Rookie camps are underway. The rookie games were just this past weekend, I'm pretty sure. So that was fun to see. We're almost back, folks. We're a day closer, a step closer, and it is almost the greatest time of year.
It is. We'll talk a little bit about the rookie games here. We got a lot to hop into. We also got Jack. Jack, I know you are thrilled because guess who clinched the playoff spot?
Cubbies.
For the first time since what, 21?
No. Full season 2019, and then they got the COVID year 2020. They won the division, so
I was looking, or I saw a post on social media, and it showed their lineup from 2021. It had Kyle Schwarber in it. I was like, wow.
Yep.
What a fucking time.
Miss him.
But yeah, hope you guys are doing good. We got a guest here today. It's his third, well, it's more than his third time coming on the pod. He's been on here more than 3 times. But it's our third annual, before the season discussion, hot take sesh, award talk, all the good stuff. We got MB on hockey, Mike Bartner. How we doing?
Thanks for having me, boys. I always love to hop on. When you say hot takes, I'm there. I'm down to rip some hot takes and get some people fucking pissed.
That's how we
do it. Yeah, nice.
So, Mike, you've been up to a lot since the last time we've talked to you. So, do you want to tell us what's going on? You have some sort of little charity thing going because the Islanders missed the playoffs and now you're doing a island-long bike. So, you want to go into that a little bit, discuss what the charity's about and all that stuff?
Yeah, more than happy to. In 10 days, or when you're watching this, probably 9 days, on September 29th, because the New York Islanders, as Nord mentioned, did not end up making the playoffs. I said before the season that I would bike across all of Long Island, 130 miles. That day is finally approaching. I'm raising some money for 2 good organizations. In doing so, Movember, which is a men's mental health, men's health organization. It's obviously more prominent in November, but great organization. We're raising money there, as well as the National Brain Tumor Society, which does a lot of good research and outreach in terms of brain cancer. And actually, one of the persons that I'm biking with, his mother, unfortunately, has been dealing with brain cancer the last couple of years. So definitely 2 causes that kind of hit home. And yeah, I'm really excited to do it. I've been training, probably not as much as I should have, but I think I'm going to be able to do it. And we're going to live stream some of it, get clips, maybe make a YouTube video out of it. It's going to be really fun. If you have any money, and if you potentially want to donate, go check out the links in my bio. Thank you for letting me get this little plug spiel in.
Yeah, of course.
Now let's talk.
I just want to say the NordCast will be making a $100 donation. Just want to put that out there.
Thank you, stud.
I didn't tell the guys beforehand. It's coming out of my account, but we are going to make a donation to your cause. I just want to bring up your resume is looking pretty elite ahead of this this race. You're racing 175-mile bike ride in 7 hours, 150-mile bike ride in 4 hours, 10 to 12, 20 to 35-mile ride. Recently hit 20K subs and would rather die on the bike than not complete this in one day.
And since posting, I did 100 miles. That was the big 100 miles we have done. We still got another 35 to go, but it's looking possible.
How long did that take?
9 hours, 30 minutes. So the over under on the full length, and that was just in a loop. So the full over under is probably gonna be 14, 15 hours if I can do it in one day. It's gonna be a battle.
You better do it in one day.
Starting early, I guess 5 a.m. to midnight. I'll probably have to do it.
So if you don't finish the challenge, what happens?
I'm definitely gonna do long. There's a chance that maybe my body breaks down and I can't do it in one day, but I'm definitely gonna do it in 2 days, unless I tear an ACL or pop an Achilles.
Oh, gosh.
That's in terms of if I'm at mile 90 or obviously like God forbid someone gets like hit by a car. Hopefully this clip does not resurface in 2 weeks. But like, if
I do not want to put that out there.
if one of the bikers, we will be wearing helmets and taking precautions. But yeah, hit by car, HBC or injury, torn Achilles or ACL. We're gonna do it. Maybe not one day. The goal is one day, but just get it done. Will happen.
Are you going like straight the whole way through, like zero breaks, like you're on?
No. Oh my God, that'd be like impossible. like hangover style. Like they're handing me like the water, like the extra water. it's
That's
like
exactly
that.
what's in my head right now.
Yeah, we're gonna start really early
while you're biking, and it's like
no, like starting out the morning portion probably is gonna be like 2 hours, then like a 20 to 30 minute break, then like 2 hours. But by the end, it's probably gonna be stopping every 5 to 10 miles, refueling, like with like electrolytes and stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna have to stop at these. I'll probably do like at 1 p.m. when we're in like the middle of Long Island, like a meetup with like followers and stuff. But nah, it's not like a timed thing where I'm like I have 12 hours. We're gonna have a fun time, but we're gonna do it.
Well, that's great. I'm really glad you're doing this. I mean, when I saw you post your thing about a year ago at this point on October 7th of last year, I was like, yeah, okay. Like
a lot of people were.
But there you go. Like, I mean, not only are you actually doing it, but you're doing it for a good cause. So we get major props to you for that. I do have another inquiry for you, though. Are you going to be doing some punishments again this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe like after I finish
go.
the bike ride, I'll let you guys know. Have a list.
So like, if they don't make the playoffs again next year, are you gonna like swim across the whatever?
I think maybe this will be a NordCast special. I don't think I'm gonna do it with the Islanders, but I think if the Bruins and the Rangers make the playoffs, which is like a decent long shot that both of them do, I might do Boston to New York, which is like 240.
Ooh, okay.
That would have to be a 2 day.
You heard it here first.
That's the inside scoop. But yeah, that's like the realistic one that I could do. And because it's 100 miles on top of that, I'd have to make it a little bit more unlikely. I think the Rangers are going to make the playoffs, but Bruins are a little bit of a long shot.
Yeah,
even though
the Bruins are a little bit of a long shot. But yeah, again, good on you. We will put the links and stuff for everything in the description below.
My link tree.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's move on from that great cause and go to the news around the NHL. We actually have a lot to talk about here, like a pretty decent amount. We're going to try and move through it relatively quickly so we can get to the juicy stuff in this episode. So, Marc-Andre Fleury. I didn't think I'd be talking about him again, but Marc-Andre Fleury has signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins to a professional tryout contract. He will play in the September 27th exhibition game. So, he is going to be playing in parts of this game. He won't even play the full game. But a lot of people, when they saw this, they were like, "Oh my God! After a year of a retirement tour, he's really gonna pull a Tom Brady." Anyway, it's not that. What it seems to be is it's just going to be like a farewell game. This is pretty much what it is. He's going to play this one game, and then that's going to be it. Farewell. Goodbye, Marc-Andre Fleury. Kyle Dubas came out and said, quote, "The Penguins feel he and his family are most deserving of this opportunity to celebrate this full circle moment back to where it all started in front of the black and gold faithful." Again, Fleury retired from pro hockey this past season and will return to one more exhibition game where it began. I have never seen this before anywhere with any goalie or any player where they will come back and play a game in the preseason the following year after they retired. Now, players will sign one-day contracts. That has happened before. But this is new. So I just want to know, like, what do you guys think about this? What was your initial thought when you saw this? Because I know Bartner was like, man, why are they giving this much recognition to a not top 10 goalie? But
yeah, he just like seems to. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, again, me and you, like we all make videos. We want attention, but like, I don't think I've ever seen a retirement tour like this in terms of like regular season. Then, like I'm going to the World Championships. Like I want to play with Crosby one last time. I want to go there. And then he's like the belle of the ball there. And now this, I do agree that it is like a better in concept than like one-day contract. It's kind of just like a nothing burger. But yeah, for me, that was like already on like the can we Marc-Andre Fleury just retire already? I do think it is a little bit too much, but it's not hurting anybody. It's not like it's NFL when people are like battling for a roster spot or something like that, and every preseason game matters. So it is cool, and I think that we might see more of it going forward, but it's interesting.
I don't know about that. What do you two think?
Well, when I saw like news outlets, like NHL news outlets reacting to it, I thought like he was fully coming back, and I'm like, what is going on here? But he's just playing one preseason game? Is that what it is?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Proper farewell, I guess, is what you could call it. So,
Carter?
What do you think the chances are he just makes the team right out of camp?
He would.
yeah.
He would.
Could you
It's
imagine
open
how
season
funny
if
that
he
would
does
be?
that. I'm going
He
at it.
goes back to Pittsburgh. They're like, whoa, he's kind of still got it here, and they give him the backup job. I feel like that'd just be absolutely
Well,
hilarious.
better yet, what if he plays
But-
the game and he's like, you know what? Run it back.
Yeah, he's like, I still got it.
That could happen.
1 year
I don't
deal
know.
on the ice. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is awesome though. I think he's one of their biggest. He was a huge part of literally the Penguins for so many years. He was a first overall pick. Like when you think of old Pittsburgh Penguins, besides like probably Crosby and Malkin, the next guy you'd probably think of would be Marc-Andre Fleury. It's undoubted probably their best goalie ever. As far as like recognition wise as well. So this is awesome for him. I think this is awesome for the league as well. Give him one last send off in Pittsburgh at home. I think that's just absolutely amazing. I will like to ask a question first. Do you think he'd start or finish the game?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Knowing him, probably both.
Probably both.
Start.
Like
Play the
I
first 10
That would be
minutes,
awesome.
he's
play
playing
the back.
parts. Like I feel like he's retired, but like it's not like he hasn't played in like 3 years. Like I feel like he could play a full game, and it's preseason. So,
Yeah.
do you guys want to know the cheapest price
Ooh,
for a ticket to this game?
240.
350.
So I'm on. It's not that crazy, but I have seen some
Okay,
places
good.
where it's been that bad. I'm on TickPick, and that's where I get my tickets. Shout out TickPick.
Shout out.
I think, yeah, anyway. The cheapest ticket that I see on here, I sorted it by cheapest, is $113 for section 230 row K, which for those who don't know, that's basically like at the tippy top of the stadium. Like literally the nosebleeds.
Yeah, that's like Jets regular season. That's not bad.
Okay, yeah, anyway. But yes, it's a preseason game. So like
Yeah,
the fact
I'm
that
not
it's
paying that
$113
for
for
preseason.
that. I bought Flyers preseason tickets to the Islanders game on the 2nd for $66 total, 33 a ticket, and they were like 5 rows up.
Dang,
So I just want to. I mean,
Nice.
maybe I got a good deal, or this is
that sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah.
That does sound like a good deal.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think it's awesome that they're doing this for him. It's interesting though, honestly, because like Bartner said, I think we could see this a lot more often. It's not impossible. So there's something to keep in mind with that. All right, moving on to other goaltender news because there's a lot of it. Ivan Fedotov is no longer a Philadelphia Flyer. He has been traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for a 2026 sixth-round pick. I won't spend that much time on this because there's not a lot to this. Everybody thought that it was going to involve a certain somebody. We're not going to discuss that certain somebody in this episode, but it's clear that this trade was not for that. This was a trade for Columbus to actually acquire some goaltending depth because outside of Merzlikins and Jet Greaves, they have essentially nobody after that. They have Sawchenko and I think Gardner, and that's the nerd in me. If you're a casual fan, they have nobody after those two. So getting Fedotov, I think, is going to be a solid acquisition. Fedotov had some games where like he looked like he could be good in Philly, but for the most part, it was just an absolute disaster. And you got to think that whole debacle that happened in 2022 where he was abducted by Russia, more or less, to play for the Russian military, you have to think that has something to do with this. But as for Philadelphia, they get rid of some cap space. But here's the interesting thing, though, and I'll let you guys give your thoughts in a moment. But the interesting thing is that Philly technically already paid Fedotov. Like, they already paid him. So, yes, it counts as a cap hit to Columbus, but they're only giving up league minimum for this, which I think is interesting. So I just wanted to put that out there to the world. But there's not a lot to this. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm speaking to everybody here.
Yeah, you probably know the most about Fedotov. I know that he didn't have like that good of stats in Philadelphia. It's definitely a body for Columbus. I don't know. Like, of course, the funny like Bobrovsky comparisons. It's like, chill, like stop that. But yeah, if he puts up like a 900, that's a huge win. I don't know. That's Columbus's goaltending was like Merzlikins fell off a decent amount. Yeah. So if he's anything decent, it's worth it, obviously.
I think he'll play in the A. I think that's what the expectation likely is. He'll play in the AHL. I don't foresee him making the roster over Jet Greaves, but regardless, we'll see what happens there. Jack, this is for you. Spencer Knight, 3 years, $5.83 million. Deal begins in 26-27. Chicago is, I would say, like a couple years away from playoffs, even sniffing it. And this deal will kick in a year from now. So take that 3 years, that's 2030. I think this is a good deal. And it kind of gives, like, you know, Knight that chance to prove himself and be that starting goalie for Chicago that they want. So honestly, I think that this is like, it's a little bit of an overpay, but you're Chicago, so who cares? Jack, what do you think? Sorry.
Yeah, he's never been a starter in his career. He's been behind the Bobrovsky for a while, and it's good to give him some confidence. Like, okay, I'm the number one guy here, and the contract expires when he's 28. So I think that's when you know, like, is he the Blackhawks goalie for the next 7-8 years, or is he not? So you can move on from him if you don't think he is. And I just think it's good timing. I did like him last year for like the 30% of the season we had him. I thought he looked really good. So honestly, I'm totally okay with this, and I like it a lot.
What do you guys think? Everybody else?
Yeah, it's
I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely just like they have the money. Might as well see like what he has. If he proves it, he'll get a long-term extension. It's a little concerning just because he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of it, because he's been in the NHL for so long. That's maybe like the apprehension that I would have. Probably would have played the year out, but yeah, if you're Chicago, you have the money. It's fine, and maybe he takes a more team-friendly deal because you gave him this down the line when he needs his long-term extension.
I don't know. People forget that when he was drafted by Florida, literally a couple of days later, Sergei Bobrovsky was signed to a contract, and it was like, oh, there goes Knight's chance of getting a starting role. So he's basically more or less like been bouncing around between the Panthers and the Checkers. Like last year, he didn't even play a single game for the Panthers. He was down in Charlotte. He was in the player assistance program. He played more games this year, but it was pretty clear like he was coming up on 25 years old. It's just like he wasn't going to get what he was going to get until he was like 30 in Florida, maybe even more than that, depending on Bobrovsky, maybe a little less, but you get what I mean. So it makes sense that, like Chicago went out and acquired him. I didn't think he put up bad numbers in Chicago either, a .896, but that team wasn't that great. So regardless, I think that this is a good signing by Chicago, and it doesn't really have that much risk to it because they're not going to be contending in 3 years, at least not seriously contending in 3 years.
Yeah, he kind of got shafted just by like Bobrovsky having one of the best goalie aging curves of like recent memory.
Yeah.
And still being elite at like 37.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, we'll move on from that then. We got some interesting reports, and it's funny because all we're talking about is goaltenders, but we got a report today from the Utah Mammoth, and that Connor Ingram will not attend training camp in Utah and is expected to be placed on waivers when the waiver wire opens, unless if he is traded beforehand. Bill Armstrong said it's mutual decision. They're going to try and find a new home for him. He is on the final year of a $1.95 million contract that ends at the end of this season. Ingram last year played 22 games with the hockey club, had a .882. The year prior, played 50 games with Arizona, had a .907. He's averaged a .902 throughout his NHL career. I just have an inquiry for you guys. Like, we see this player, and this is a goalie who had a rough go of things last year, was put into the assistance program, has put up good numbers before with Arizona, a .907 both years, solid AHL numbers prior to that. My inquiry is, like, do you guys think that, or what team do you guys think that this guy could go to, and do you guys think that this guy is worth taking a real chance on? Because you see a lot of teams, they're kind of struggling with goalie depth. That's why a certain somebody who will remain nameless is being considered for an NHL job. I'm just wondering, do you guys think a team will take at least a little chance on him to be like a third string?
Yeah, I think a team should try to. The problem is, he's coming off NHL players' assistance because his mom passed away from breast cancer, and it's not like a $1 million cap hit. It's not huge. It's $1.95 million, but like at this point, most teams do have their goalie tandems figured out. Maybe they're not extremely confident in it, but you rarely see these kind of trades like right before the season. It might have to be like a month or two when a goalie tandem starts to kind of shit their pants. But I think teams definitely should look at Ingram. I'm just interested to see if it happens during training camp.
Teams can use depth and a third string. Never hurts. So, Carter, Jack, any thoughts?
I don't know. Initial thoughts for me was Toronto. Not sure why, but I mean, he wasn't even that bad, was he? Like,
no, he wasn't terrible. I think, again, he did have a rough go of things during that season anyway, and you could honestly track all that back to his mother, again, passing away. I mean, I watched the games. Like, he had above a 500 record. Like, it wasn't like he was, like, not winning any games at all. So I think overall, like, it was just, he had a rough go of things last year. I think he wants a fresh start. I think that's mostly what this is.
Yeah, so, I mean, why not Edmonton? Take a chance.
Go for it. You know what? Anything's better than Skinner at this point. So, all right. Anyways, there's a couple of other signings that I want to touch base on really quickly, and then we want to talk about one more thing, and then we'll get into the hot takes. Nathan Walker signed a 2-year, $887K contract. He was a dog in the playoffs last year. Good extension there for a fourth liner. Michael Backlund, 2 years, $3.25. That begins in 26-27. Not a bad deal for your captain. It's not a lot of risk either, and he is getting up there in age. So I don't really got a lot of complaints about that one either. Actually, I lied. 2 more things. JT Miller is the captain of the Rangers. They have named him as their 29th captain in franchise history. A little bit unexpected. I did not expect that on my Monday morning, but regardless, there you go. JT Miller is the captain of the New York Rangers. It's never boring in New York. What do you guys think about it?
It's an interesting pick. I mean, they gave up a first in Filipino to get him. He definitely has like the fire to be a captain, maybe a little bit too much fire at times. But yeah, besides Trocheck, I don't think anybody really like expressed captain. Seemed like a captain. Like Adam Fox seems pretty mild mannered. Mika Zibanejad was pretty ass last year. You weren't going to make him the captain after that season. Lafreniere, no. So it was between him and Miller, or him and Trocheck. And yeah, I guess you go with the guy that was not fully on the team last year when they were god awful. Try to get some kind of change.
Yeah. What do you two think?
What is it with the Rangers and giving these like gritty players their captaincy? Like these last 2 times, like Jacob Trouba, then JT Miller. Like, I mean, hey, they got the fire, and I guess Trouba couldn't really get the Rangers going last year, so maybe Miller can do something like that and provide some goal scoring. And I don't know, but we'll have to, I was really shocked that it was him because he had only been there for half a year.
Yeah, that was my initial thought. Like, he hasn't even been there that long, so.
Well, he was there for a little bit before he left and played for 5 other teams. So, like, I wonder how Elias Pettersson feels. How does Elias Pettersson open his phone and see that JT Miller is the captain of the Rangers? Okay. I'm sure Vancouver asked him about that at some point. How do you feel about Miller being – because you know how they're –
That's just some weird beef right there, man. I don't know.
We need a tell-all book to come out soon rather than like 20 years from now.
Who knows? Such so strange stuff. Okay, that's enough for news around the National Hockey League. It's time. Love to do this every single year. It is hot take time. So, I am thinking of a number between 1 and 4. I want all of you to guess. Mike, go first.
3.
Jack?
1.
Carter? 2. Okay, I was thinking of 3, ironically enough. So I have to go first. All right,
Set the tone. I'll set the tone.
Hot takes. So here's how it works. We do that. We've been doing this every year since the inaugural year of the podcast in 2022, except for 2023. I don't think we did this, but regardless, we just give our hot takes based on the 2025-26 season. Some of these over the years have been pretty outrageous. A lot of us think back to, let's go a trip down memory lane. Ottawa wins the cup was certainly a take.
Who said that?
You.
I remember that.
Crazy.
One.
I don't remember that.
I had Laine scoring 55 after Johnny Gaudreau, rest in peace, came to Columbus. So that happened, and now he's no longer there. But yeah, we've overall had a lot of takes that have aged poorly. There's been takes that have aged pretty well. Like I remember Mike's take about the Ducks last year. That aged pretty good. So regardless,
Thank you.
Let's just stop talking about last year and get into this year. So Mike, you go first. What do you got?
This one I think you're going to like, Nord, as a Utah Mammoth fan. Sergachev, top 4 in Norris voting. I think he's going to pop off. He played like 25 minutes last year. He only had 53 points, but I think Utah's offense is only going to be better this year, adding J.J. Peterka, just getting another year of like Logan Cooley and Dylan Gunther. And yeah, my like also logic for this is when looking at Utah, I don't think Clayton Keller is going to be, if they make the playoffs, I don't think Clayton Keller is going to be in like Hart discussions. I don't think Vejmelka is going to be in Vezina discussions. So like Sergachev would be the one guy that realistically could get a bunch of award votes and get the praise individually from the team success. That makes sense.
You know what? I don't disagree with that. I don't hate.
It's still bold. Like if Makar and Hughes are healthy, they're going to be ahead of him. Like Dahlin and Fox, but I think he could go for like 70 points.
It's not terribly out of the question because you know what he said today to the media. He said that he would like to be more offensive this year. So
there you go.
Mike Bartner basically just knows everything. But yeah, I did see that today. He said like he wants to get more involved offensively, not in a sense of like, taking risks, but he wants to provide more in terms of his offense, which is I think is incredibly valid. And you look at a team like the Mammoth, who's filled with a lot of offensive talents, and especially if Sergachev is the power play quarterback, I mean, I think there's a good chance that he could rise up to 70, 75 points next year. It's not out of the question. So I don't think that's that crazy, to be honest with you. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I do like that.
All right. So I'm thinking of another number between 1 and 3. Jack?
1.
Carter?
3. You went back to back.
No, I'm thinking of 1.
Yeah.
Number 1. All right, Jack, you're up next. That means Carter will go third and I'll go last. But Jack, what do you got for your first hot take? And you said to us in the group chat, you're like, you're going to love our takes. So I'm terrified.
Yeah, you guys always love my takes. My first one is Mitch Marner wins the Art Ross.
Ooh.
No, that's not that terrible.
Yeah, he's in Vegas now. I mean, that's a guy who definitely needed to change his scenery, and he still was not bad at all in Toronto. Top 5 forward in the league, and I mean, he's in Vegas, which is just a stacked team now, and the dude's just gonna rack up the points. I can just see it happening already.
I don't think that's crazy at all. Or like it's certainly hot. Like I think there's definitely other candidates, obviously, like McKinnon, McDavid.
Yeah.
That's a good hot take.
Yeah,
you know what?
spicy.
Like it's not. I can see it happening. I don't think it happens, but I can see that. That's a good take. Carter, what do you think about that?
I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. It's nice and hot. We just got to see if that's going to translate to the playoffs.
It probably won't, but
Most likely not.
Who knows?
He's got other playoff performers now on his team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
All right, Carter, give your first of the day.
All right, my first hot take of the day. I don't even know if mine are like that hot. They're just kind of, I'll call them mild, or not mild. They're kind of spicy. But I got Cole Perfetti to finally have his breakout that I've been talking about for way too long, where he will have a 30 and 40 season.
Ooh, okay, let me pull up his stats here real quick. So
He
last
had, like,
year,
50
He has
last
never
year.
his highest point total was last year, and he had 50, but he didn't even break 20 goals.
yeah. Ooh.
That's
So
hot.
now
That's
with
spicy.
the departure of Nikolai Ehlers, I think it's going to open him to be able to shoot more. I think it's going to allow him to play a little bit more of that laid back pace game that he's good at, because I think Ehlers was really fast paced and everything like that. So I think that this is really going to help change things for him in a hopefully good way.
So let me ask you this: with Ehlers not being in the lineup anymore, where does Cole Caulfield, like, what line will he play on? First line now at this point?
Fuck off.
Yeah, so Cole Caulfield, I think he'll play first line in Montreal.
Clip that.
Oh,
I don't know. I got a weird feeling he's like not gonna play.
Perfetti.
so it's,
No, I'm pretty sure he'll play left wing. I think Ehlers played right. They kind of like rotated sometimes. It's really weird. Like, I don't know, but he'll play second line for sure. I don't see him taking Gabe Velarde's spot. He's sure as crap not taking Kyle Connors.
okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that seems good placement for Cole Caulfield. Yeah. Great. All right. I'm so sorry, Carter. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
that. What a trade.
I don't know. A 20-point increase will be interesting. I don't think it's not scorching hot, but I think it's definitely interesting that you think I almost said it again. That you think Perfetti's going to take that big of a step. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. But I mean, he did take a step last year, so it's not like crazy to say he'll take another step this year. And isn't he heading into a contract year?
Ooh.
Yeah. So
he's hitting that.
yeah. Thank
It
you.
always happens. All right. For my first hot take of the day, I am going to stick in the Central Division because we've picked a lot of ours in the Western Conference. Minnesota misses the playoffs.
Okay.
And this I actually kind of revealed already on my Instagram because I'm doing the 32-1 series, and Minnesota I think is ranked 20th. So I'll explain why. And it is very hard for me to do. It is something that I would choose not to. But I look at that Central Division. It is so unbelievably tight. It is so very tight. You look at, you obviously have Dallas, you have Colorado, you have Winnipeg, you have St. Louis, and then you have Minnesota. Those are 5 teams that made the playoffs last year. And then everybody's saying, like how Mike said Sergachev's going to finish top 4 in Norris. If that happens, that means the Mammoth are going to join that conversation. And then not to mention, you look at the Pacific Division, you have Calgary there who probably will battle. I think if Dustin Wolf is what he was last year and maybe Calgary scores a little bit more, maybe they can be in that contention as well for those wild card spots. You have Vancouver too. Vancouver, I think I said, and this might be a hot take, it might not be, but I think they'll bounce back this year and get closer or make the playoffs. So I just think like there's a lot of teams battling in there, and I'm not saying that they'll miss by a mile. It'll be razor sharp. But I look at Minnesota. The whole Kirill Kaprizov thing, I think, is kind of lingering over their heads. And unless if they get that done, especially with the whole, him rejecting the contract, if he even did reject that, there's that in there. And then as well as that too, Philip Gustafsson has lacked a little bit of consistency. Now hear me out with this, because Gustafsson, it seems like it's every other year he's good and every other year he's bad. He's like an even year merchant. It's like you look at his numbers, like he has great numbers in even years, but horrible numbers in odd years. It's actually kind of insane. But again, like if he's like that again this year, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Again, like I'm not saying that like I don't think they'll make the playoffs at all. Like I'm saying that I hate Minnesota, but I look at the standings. I think the Mammoth are going to improve. I am like super high on St. Louis. I mean, Winnipeg's going to regress, but more or less like everything's the same on that end. I didn't say regress by missing the playoff, but I think they're not going to be first. So therefore, somebody's going to be cut out of the equation, and that I have Minnesota, unfortunately, being that team. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's definitely possible, and especially with the Kirill Kaprizov, if they end up having to trade him, they're not getting nearly as much like return in the present. Maybe get futures for him. So yeah, it's definitely possible. Even with Kirill Kaprizov, they weren't a playoff team, and he already deals with a bunch of injuries throughout the season.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There's injury problems too. I mean, I like John Hines, but he's not the greatest coach in the world, so there's that too. But yeah, that was the one that I was really thinking about today. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I hate to do it because I love Minnesota, but somebody's got to get cut out of that race. What do you two think as two Central Division fan bases?
It's tough. It's a tough division every year, man. But the Hawks are never even close in the recent years. So I mean, it really doesn't matter that much. It doesn't matter that much to me.
Spencer
But
Knight is going to shut them out twice, and
that's right.
The playoffs.
Yeah.
Carter, what do you think about that? Because you're a Jets fan, and you guys almost played Minnesota last year. If it was maybe another point difference, you would have played the Wild. So what do you think about that?
I would not mind if Minnesota doesn't make it, just as like Minnesota's like the closest team to me, so automatically kind of hate the Wild. It's a hard one that I could see happening, seeing as they were just 1 point out and missing last year as Calgary kind of got hot, but I don't know. I could see that going both ways. I do definitely like that take.
All right, we're back to you, Mike. Hot take number 2. What are we looking at?
Okay, hot take number 2. I like the Boston Bruins a decent amount this year. I'm not going to say playoffs, but I'm going to say 90 points. Their over-under right now is 79, so I feel like that's like somewhat of a hot take. I think that people are just underrating them because of stuff like their injuries last year to McAvoy and Lindholm. Swayman can't play any worse. Like, I feel like although their forward core is pretty goddamn bad outside of Pasternak, I think that this still is going to be a very well-structured team. I like Marco Sturm in terms of that hiring, that I think they're going to be much better, and I'd pick them to finish ahead of the Sabres, the Red Wings, the Blue Jackets, my Islanders. So I think 90 points. I could definitely see out of this team. People are giving up on them.
Yeah, like I'm a little worried about the overall offensive depth.
It's bad.
That's like,
bad.
like
Fraser
I
Minten, 3C.
I look at that and I'm like, what are we? No, but I will agree, and this is my counteract to everybody who says, like, I have Boston finishing 8th, but I have them like 25th, 24th, I think.
Yeah, the Atlantic is insane. Like it's going to be tough in terms of battling for points.
Yeah, so I think that like the biggest factors with me is Jeremy Swayman. Like, is Swayman going to bounce back? And honestly, I was a big defender of him the entire year last year, so I think he will. I think he is going to bounce back. It's also if McAvoy and Lindholm can stay healthy as well.
Definitely.
That's the biggest thing you got to look at too. I totally think that's possible as well. I mean, I just think like the Atlantic is going to be such a bloodbath. And I think Boston, with their lack of offense outside of David Pasternak and I guess Morgan Geekie, like unless if you get bounce backs from those players, I just think it's just not going to be their year that they get in. But I'm not going to say no to that take. That's not crazy.
Yeah. If I was like divisional spot in the Atlantic, that'd be insane.
Yeah,
I hope you guys would call me an idiot for that.
All right, what do you guys think?
Yeah, Boston is just a team that figures it out every year, and I mean they're in the race every year, so that's all I got.
Boston in the playoffs, then?
Do I have Boston in the playoffs?
Yeah,
it's not one of my hot takes, but I would say yes.
Whoa, that's definitely a hot take. If you have Boston in the playoffs.
It's not on my list, but yeah, there's a built-in hot take right there.
Okay,
enjoyed it up, yeah.
All right.
Love it.
Well, that being said, then Jack Carter is in shock right now.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Okay.
Listen, I can get behind, Boston being a surprise. Playoffs? 90 points.
Plus 430 to make the playoffs. That's
Plus 430.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that, even if it was like a 99% lock, because I guarantee there 1% would hit.
With you, maybe. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to ask. But Jack, that being said, we're back to you once again. What is your next take? Even though you just said one.
All right. My next one is Ottawa makes a deep playoff run.
Here we go again with
Love
Ottawa.
that. I
That's
love
right.
that.
It's-
And they're
Cup,
back.
cup.
It's not. I'm not saying they're going to
How
win the
deep?
Stanley
How
Cup.
deep are we
I'm not
talking?
saying cup this time, but
How deep?
I'll give them. They get past the second round. I'll say conference finals.
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
it. I
Alright.
like it.
I'll do that.
So that means, and I'll let you explain in a moment, but that means they have to go through Florida.
Yeah, they're getting through Florida. I think they beat Florida.
I mean,
Florida's
unless they
gonna be
like,
fatigued this
Wilder
year.
things have happened.
unless they make like a late wild card and like Florida's number one and they just don't end up playing them. Like if they end up being wild card one and Florida wins the division.
Yeah, if Florida
And they
gets
just meet each
bounced
other in
first
the
round by
conference
somebody
final.
else, then
There is a possibility they wouldn't play them if they get upset.
Mhm.
But I think we all know, like, if they're going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, they're probably going to
they're
have to.
probably gonna have to get through Florida. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, just like kind of explain it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean it's just a young, gritty team. It's as simple as that. And we saw last year against the Leafs. I mean, almost coming back down 3-0 to win it in 7. It was just really impressive stuff. And I think that says a lot about that team, like just the way they fight back. And I think this year is just different for them. Like they're coming into this year, like it feels different. I don't know. It's just something about that team, and watching the way they fought back against the Leafs was just really impressive stuff.
Okay. I don't know if I can see conference finals, but I can see second round, depending on who they're playing. But like honestly, it's not terribly crazy. Like if you are on the Ottawa bandwagon, which a lot, I think a couple of actually no, it was just me and Bartner because you two had them like dead last in the Atlantic. The people who were riding on Ottawa last year, I think it's not that crazy. Brady Tkachuk is a great captain. He plays that style that everybody loved. Jake Sanderson had a huge year last year. He was great. You have Olmark and Merrill-Linen, which is a great tandem in my opinion. I think they fixed a little bit of their depth issues, bringing in guys like Lars Eller and such. I think guys like Ridley Gregg and Shane Pinto will take steps. I think it's not crazy to say like they could go to the second round and be a tough out. Third round, though, like it would depend on who they play, but I'm just going to say no for now. It's not, now that I think about it, it's not that scorching hot, but interesting. All right, Carter, what do you got, buddy? Is it
Well, I'll go to mine. I'll go to mine that involves the Ottawa Senators, and I think that Toronto is no longer the number one team in Ontario.
Really?
I like it. I love that.
Really? All right.
I think here's the thing. I think the Mitch Marner loss, as much as it's going to help them with their depth, it's very hard to like get back the 100, 110 points you get from Mitch Marner, especially playing on Matthews' wing.
Mhm.
So I think that's going to be a huge wake up call right away. And I think Toronto might start slow and everything like that. And I think we're going to see Ottawa take over as the number one team in Ontario this season.
So, like, you mean like they'll finish above Toronto in the standings, or just like
Yeah, like
I can see
like
that,
they'll
yeah.
finish above Toronto and they'll beat them in like their season series or whatever.
You know what? Well, they'll probably beat them in the season series because it feels like
Mhm.
every year, like it's them in Montreal that Toronto always loses to. But regardless, unless if it's playoffs. But regardless, like I don't think that's again. It's not. I mean, maybe I'm just so objective. It's crazy, but I mean, I don't know. Like I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. It's one thing to say like like they'll go further than Toronto in the playoffs, but Toronto still has Austin Matthews. They got Stolars. They got a good tandem. I don't know. I will say this. It's gonna be a lot closer than people think. Like everybody's gonna be saying
Yeah.
Toronto is miles better than Ottawa because they have been for years and they were last year, obviously. But with the departure of Marner, and I am expecting for Toronto to struggle a little bit this year. There is going to be some struggles without Marner being there now. It could come true. So I don't know. What do the rest of the crowd think? That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it could definitely happen. I mean, they almost again, as Jack mentioned, they almost came back within that series in the playoffs last year. So they're definitely, at least in the forward core, a lot deeper than Toronto. I'd probably take their defense core maybe as well. Maybe they both have very good defense cores. And then I probably trust Olmark more than Stoll. They have a better tandem, but yeah, I don't think Ottawa's really that far behind. It just comes down to like Stützle and Brady Tkachuk getting back to like point per game and above point per game, because obviously Matthews and Nylander are like tiers ahead of them right now. So they need their star forwards to step up in a big way.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. So I just want to that's actually a spicy one, and that's probably going up on somewhere social media.
That's what. Fuck, I thought that was going to be one of my like colder ones. So.
What else do you have in store, man? What do you have in the holster right now?
I don't know, man. What you know about Chicago Stanley Cup?
Now you got my interest.
Yeah, now you got Jack's attention. All right, I'm up next. My second take of the day. I'm going to. Yeah, we're going to go with this one. So, happy birthday, Alex Ovechkin. He turned 40 years old today. Happy birthday to the big man. I have Ovechkin in what may be his last year in the NHL, in his 40th year, like years old year. Yeah. In his first year in his 40s, playing hockey, I have him coming first in Rocket Richard vote.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
That's hot.
All right.
This
is the hottest one that I have. I am pretty damn high on Ovechkin. Not as high on the Caps. I think they're going to take a regression. But I am pretty high on Ovi. I believe that this year will be a little bit of a weaker year in terms of goals. So I think Ovechkin, not like weaker, like there's going to be less goals, but like there's going to be goals more spread out. I think Ovechkin is going to take a major run at that Rocket Richard one last time. If this is his last season in the NHL, like they're saying it's rumored to be, or they're saying that it is, I think he's going to go in there. He's going to light up 50 one last time and take home the Rocket Richard trophy. It might be here in a couple minutes. You could argue that's the craziest, but yeah, that's my big hot take this year is Ovechkin wins the Rocket.
Bold.
That's a crazy one.
That's bold. That's bold.
So what's crazier, Ottawa going on a deeper playoff run or Ovechkin winning the Rocket?
Ovechkin winning the Rocket.
Yeah, I think
Ovi for sure.
How about Ottawa winning the Rocket?
It's not, honestly, that take is about Mike Bartner starting to finishing this Long Island bike ride. That's
that
the
is
difference
the distance
right
between the two.
That's one hell of a take, or one hell of a way to put it.
If he does, like, let's say he does win the Rocket and he puts up, like, I don't know, let's say 55. Do you think he goes for 1,000 goals?
Yeah, knowing him,
that would put him at like 940.
He'd be at about 950, right? Because he's at like what, 890 right now, 890 or 895 or something like that.
897 is his total. So if he scored 55, he'd be at 952.
Do you think that he would be like, I'll try one more year, and he tries to go for 50 again, tries to go for 1,000?
I mean, we're putting a hot take on top of a hot.
Your take would have to come true.
Yeah, we're like
for this to like happen.
We're like speculating on top of speculation. So
yeah,
if it happens, sure, but I mean, like, I don't really know if it's gonna happen.
If he goes nuclear and Nordic looks like an absolute genius,
oh my God, I will.
There could be a world where we are seeing Alex Ovechkin go for 1,000, and I think that would just be every single Capitals game would be the most watched game of the day, no doubt about it.
It's not that crazy. So it's not that crazy if he does.
It is pretty crazy, Nordic. Let's be real.
It's not that crazy if he does.
It is pretty crazy.
It's not that crazy if he does the crazy thing before that.
That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. Yeah, I just think I think he's going to go crazy this year. And I think after last year, like we saw how he could play at that age even still.
It was incredible.
I think he does it again. All right, back to Mike. Third round. This will probably be our last round. I did tell him to write down 5, so maybe we'll go like rapid fire after this. But Mike, what's your third and probably final one?
Flames finish bottom 5 in the NHL. I was wrong.
Whoa.
I said that they were going to be ass last year, and they weren't, but that was just because Dustin Wolf played like so amazing. Most of the underlying numbers, the forward core, suggest that this team is not very good. You look at what teams did in the Western Conference in terms of beefing it up. They basically did like nothing. Like they lost Anthony Mantha. I don't even remember like if they really signed anybody. And they don't have as many like internal growth candidates as some of the other younger teams. It's like Matt Coronado, Zari. Again, Wolf was so good in his rookie year that like he could definitely replicate it, but I'm not sure he's going to be even better. Zane Parekh, I don't think he's going to like absolutely. I love him as a prospect. He's like my number 4 prospect, but I think he's going to have an adjustment period at the NHL level, and he's dealing with an injury right now, so that's not good. So I'm just yet again low on this Flames team. I was wrong last year, and for like their fans want them to suck. That's like the other thing. Like they're probably hoping with teams like San Jose, Chicago, going to take big steps. Utah, we already talked about. Like I think Calgary going to come crashing down, and especially because last year they didn't really have anybody to potentially trade. If it starts slow, like Rasmus Anderson surely will be traded. I think they have maybe some other guys that they can move off of. They finally like embrace more of a rebuild than a retool, which they should.
Of all the ones that you guys have said, I agree with this one the most. Because he is 120% right. The reason why Calgary came close last year with Dustin Wolf. Mm-hmm. And literally the fate of their season, the fate of where they finish lies on Dustin Wolf. Like I feel like if Dustin Wolf is the same next year, is the same. I mean, I think they'll be a little bit worse, but they won't be worse enough. Like it really does lie on how Dustin Wolf plays next year. Their underlying numbers were terrible. They were. Yeah. They could not score to save their life.
Nazem Kadri, best forward on the team.
No disrespect to Kadri, but yeah, that should tell you enough. And again, I do agree with you. Like I feel like a lot of their younger guys, well, they do have a lot of them, and they do have Zane Parekh. They do have Zane Parekh coming in. I don't think they're going to be enough to move the needle that much. Like Parekh is not going to come in there and put up Norris numbers, like put up Quinn Hughes numbers, at least not right away. Mm-hmm. If you think he's going to be like Quinn Hughes, but it's just like I 100% agree with that. It wasn't one of my hot takes because I actually do have Calgary finishing relatively high again, but I can absolutely see them being bottom 5. What do you two think?
Yeah, Calgary is, like you said, Wolf is going to have to carry them, and it's a lot of pressure for a second-year goaltender. So, but we'll see. He did it last year in his rookie year. He could get better, but usually it's just not what we see within goaltenders. So,
yeah, sophomore slump.
Yeah, sophomore slump, exactly.
Carter?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think the only way this happens is if we get a sophomore slump from Wolf, which I don't think will happen. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of confused why Nordic City agrees with it, but then also has them super high up. So I'm like, kind of trying to process that.
Carter,
I didn't.
That it can happen. I didn't say that it will happen because I think Dustin Wolf is going to be better this year. However, I did say that I agreed that Dustin Wolf is literally the fate of Calgary season. If he is good, they are good. If he is bad, they are bad. Like, or even if he's average, they're bad. Like that's what I mean by this. I'm not saying that I think, like, I think it can happen. Do I think it will happen? I just don't think Calgary's that bad. Like in terms of their overall on paper roster, I don't think they're that bad.
Yeah, also guys like Farabee and Frost, they were kind of asked for them. If they play better, they probably won't be this bad. And I don't think that they're going to be like a 71-point team. I don't think that they're Chicago, San Jose bad. I don't think they're going to be as bad as Pittsburgh or Seattle. But I expect like Buffalo, Philly, Anaheim all to be better. So it's like I guess I'm just pegging them in that 5th spot in terms of worst. That makes sense.
Okay. All right, Jack. Third and final take. What do we got?
All right, my third and final take is Connor Bedard gets 95 points.
And there's the Chicago take.
I know it was coming at some point.
Yep.
I knew it was coming. All right, take us through it.
All right, so he is going into his 3rd year now. He is 20 years old. He was in the NHL when he was 18 and 19, which is a very, very young age. He's matured now, probably as a person and a hockey player now. He's had a whole summer to work. Last year, I would say he improved, even though the stats didn't really show. I think just like the overall scoring chances when he was on the ice definitely went up. He's got a better team slightly around him this year, and I think he's only going to improve. I mean, he has missed some time due to injury both years. I think this year he is probably going to put on some more strength and, kind of fight those injuries off now this year. And shot's only going to get better. He'll probably be playing around Teravainen most of the year, and then probably shuffle Donato or Burakovsky in there too. And I mean, those are guys who can play make for him. So 95.
Yeah.
Everybody else, what do you think?
Yeah, I could definitely see 80, 85. It's just the wingers, Donato, Bertuzzi, Teravainen. That's kind of my holdup. Not Bedard's talent. I think if he was on a much better team, I could see 95. Just around him getting to that number. Not sure the power play should be better, but yeah, just the limitations around him.
Carter?
Yeah, I kind of agree with everything Bartner said. I think that just his team around him, like you could say, he's got a better team around him than what he's had in his rookie year, but it's like that team's still bad. Like even if it's better, it's Chicago and it's still worse than what it was 2 years ago. It's worse. It's better than what it was last year. So I don't know. I think point per game would probably be about where I'd have him, but I don't know.
Well, Bedard did improve last year. Like whether you want to say it or not, he did improve last year. Played 82 games, had 67 points compared to 61 the year prior.
Wait, he played 82 games last year?
Yes.
He did?
That's your own. Dude. This is your own player.
I
gotta
thought
know
okay.
this stuff.
He missed time to injury his rookie year. Then
Yeah,
I thought
his
this injury was last year. Okay, sorry, I'm tripping.
It was a bad
Oh my
look.
goodness. Drew.
Yeah, that was a really bad look.
Oh my god.
That's your own guy.
I had no idea. I totally forgot.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. His baseball team clinched the playoffs today for the first time in God knows how long. So let's show him some. And also, I'd like to point out, he's wearing a Chicago Bears hat, so his life's painful.
That should say it all right there.
He's got that on his mind, so let's just give him the benefit of the
A Chicago team hasn't been in the playoffs since the 2021 Bulls, so it's been a while.
Jesus.
All right.
Yikes.
All right. Anyways, so I agree with what everybody else is saying. I don't think he has the line mates around him to put up 95 points. On the contrary, he is in a contract year. So like I said with Cole Perfetti, where Carter said that he could get 70 points, who knows? I don't think 95, though. I could see maybe 85. I think that would be a fair annotation. Because I think he is going to take a step. And I think people are going to be surprised by the step that he takes. But I don't know if I can see 95. All right, Carter. Got to move things along here.
Yeah, I will go with my final hot take, which is one that you've posted on Instagram, which is one that I've said before, and that is that Seth Jarvis will be a point per game player.
Yeah. So we did discuss that before. Jarvis last two seasons, 67 points. Last year, 67 and 73. The year before in 81. That's a what? If I'm doing the math correctly, 15-point increase from the year prior. 15. It's not the hottest take in the world. And I think with Carolina and who they have around him, it's not impossible, but they do have that system that they play where it's a little bit different, but no, it's not that crazy. Not that crazy at all.
Yeah.
All
agreed.
right. My final take, and we're going to go back to the Western Conference. Let's discuss the St. Louis Blues. So the St. Louis Blues got some good young players on that team. They have a couple of decent guys like Kyrie's young. They got Dalibor Dvorsky coming up. They also got this kid named Jimmy Snuggerud. Snuggerud is going to come second in Calder voting.
Behind
Ivan Demidov.
Okay.
I don't want to be that crazy.
Get the Montreal Canadiens.
I agree.
All right. Let me explain why. And this might not be that hot of a take, honestly. Like, I think Snuggerud, you look at the rookies in this pool. This is shaping up to be a pretty good rookie class. You have guys like Ryan Leonard, you have Snuggerud, you have Demidov, you have Sam Renzel, you have a few other names that are on that list as well that you can also discuss. But I think Snuggerud last year with the Blues, when he came in after that little stint, or not a little stint, after the years he played in Minnesota, I believe, was where he was. I think he played awesome. I think you look at how, he went in there and looked like an experienced veteran right away. And Carter saw it firsthand in the playoffs when he went to the games and watched the games on TV that this kid was great. And Carter can agree with me on that. I think nobody is talking about how good he's going to be. So I think he's a real, and I'm going to say him later on in the episode here because we are going to get into it, but I think he's a real dark horse for the trophy. It's not that crazy at all to say it. So maybe it's not even a hot take. It could be the coldest take that I have. I mean, it's definitely one of the coldest, but regardless, I got Snuggerud finishing second in Calder voting. And it's going to be a close second too, right on the tippy toes of Demidov.
Yeah, I think that's definitely hot. I feel like right now most of the buzz is Isaac Howard if he plays with McDavid, or Draisaitl, or Nikishin if he's on the top power play, Zeev Boyum as well. Yeah, I think Snuggerud's definitely not getting his due, much like a lot of players on St. Louis the last couple of years.
I do not think Howard is going to be as great as people say he is this year. I'm going to be honest with you. That might be a hotter take than what I just said. What do you two think?
Yeah, I mean, Snuggerud, he didn't get any time in the NHL last year, did he?
In playoffs.
Oh, just in the playoffs.
Just in the playoffs, yeah. No regular season. He just came in for the playoff. Or he might have played a game or a few warm-up games.
He played in the regular season. I'm pulling up
7 games, I think.
Pulling up the numbers.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well, anyways, I've seen him play in international tournaments and stuff, and the dude's solid. But there are a lot of solid rookies in the league as well, so that's definitely a hot take.
Okay. All right.
You already know my stance on Snuggerud. We discussed this last week, I think.
Did we? What's your stance on?
We did. We talked about Snuggerud a bit. I said that I think that he might actually make a run for the Calder.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when we were talking about Misa. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's our hot takes. Maybe we'll throw out a couple more here at the end if we have some time. We'll see. But it's time to move now into our Dark Horse Award candidates. So Mike cannot share his current award winners because he's making a video.
Top secret.
Which is fine. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but regardless, instead of picking our actual award winners, which I think it works out fine because we can do it in our own video, we are going to be picking some dark horse candidates for the award. So Carter asked me today, Nordic, what's a dark horse? Well, a dark horse can be somebody who is typically outside of the top 5/top 3. So, for example, I said to him today, well, I said one that was really crazy. Then I said one that was not that crazy. I said, for example,
we don't have to talk about that.
I'll bring it up. I said, for example, a guy who's a dark horse for the Norris Trophy would be a Josh Morrissey. He's not usually in contention for it, but he is in contention for it, but he's never really come that close in voting. And then I gave a really bad example. I said Dostal for Fesna. That's a little
that's a long shot.
We're gonna ignore that. All right. So we're gonna start off with we'll do Jack Adams first, because why not? We'll do Coach of the Year hot take candidate. So we'll go in the same order that we did. We'll try and go pretty fast with this. We won't give our thoughts on somebody's pick. They'll just explain it and why, and then we'll move on. All right, Mike, you are first up.
Jack Adams. I'm gonna keep on glazing Ottawa. I think they might potentially finish with like 105 points, maybe. And Travis Green is pretty deep down in terms of the Jack Adams Awards odds right now. So I think that that's the one that if he yet again proves that I've got this team that was incapable of coming out of a rebuild the last 2 years, now even safer into a playoff spot, I think that's a pretty good dark horse and a good narrative, especially for the Adams, like narrative is huge.
Jack, if you say Jeff Blashill, I swear to God.
I'm saying Jeff Blashill just because if the Blackhawks are not that bad of a team or not like a bottom 5 team, which they probably will be, but if they're not a bottom 5 team and, they finish as a top 20 team, which is very unlikely, I think he's got the award.
You should put that in hot takes.
I should have, yeah.
No, but I can't explain. I can't react to it. But Carter, you're up next. Good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna say it's bad. Good pick.
Thanks.
No, it's okay. I have the exact same pick as Bartner. Not as Jack. No. I would not react like that and be like, whoa. Anyways, I have the same pick as Jack. No, I have the same pick as Bartner. I think if I have Toronto as no longer being the number 1 team in Ontario, I think that means that Ottawa has to come in second or first in that very tight Atlantic division, because I don't see Toronto following any further than like third in this division. So I think that would mean that Ottawa had a really good season, and I think that would really push Travis Green up into some great conversations for the Jack Adams.
Rick Tocchet. And I know there's definitely going to be some bias to this. And you know what? There is. I'm not going to say there isn't. But I feel like Philadelphia, they acquired some guys this year who I think could be interesting. Like
they could make some noise.
Yeah, they could make some noise. So, like, if they somehow, some way break into a playoff spot, like, I think they're going to be better. If they somehow, some way do that, I got Tocchet winning the Jack Adams.
Yeah, even if they get like a couple points off of the playoffs, I think that in like Michkov takes a huge step, he like rehabilitates Zegras. I could see it.
Yeah.
The only problem is, didn't he win it in 2024? That is kind of a problem.
He did win it in 24. All right.
Oh, I don't know if I love the repeat.
A little shaky.
They give the Jim Gregory out a bunch of years to the same guy. Adams is not quite the case.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, we'll do. Let's start off with Art Ross here next. So Bartner.
Art Ross. Here, let me just pull it up right now. Art Ross. In terms of a dark horse guy, I think Jack Eichel is possible. I don't want to steal Jack's hot take of Mitch Marner. But yeah, Jack Eichel had I think it was 94 points in 77 games, which is about a 100-point pace. And he's adding Mitch Marner to his wing, who's a lot more consistent and a lot more healthy than, say, a Mark Stone in the regular season, as well as the fact that their power play was second in the NHL last year. So yeah, I could see Eichel getting to 110. Obviously, in these scenarios, we'd need Kucherov, McDavid, McKinnon to miss some games or have a down year. But yeah, I think Eichel is one of the few guys that could, in that third tier of guys that could get to that mark.
Okay, Jack.
I've got Mitch Marner.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Vegas.
Fair. That's fair. If he's your hot take guy, then that's fair with me. Yeah, it's not that crazy either. So there you go, Carter.
I have the man who absolutely terrorized me this postseason, Mikko Rantanen.
Damn. Okay. Explain why.
I just think that he ended off the playoffs so well. He had 22 points through 18 games, in the postseason. Finally kind of understanding this Dallas system, which is now going to be changed because their coach is fired. But I think he's more adapted to the culture. He's more adapted to that locker room now. He's gone through the playoffs with these guys. So I think that depending on what happens with, Robertson going into this year and everything like that, I'd expect Mikko Rantanen to have an absolutely massive season in Dallas.
Yeah, I just want to say before I reveal mine, Marner was 5th last year, Eichel was 8th, and Rantanen was 16th. So I just wanted to
Interesting.
shoot that out to the world there. My guy, and this is going to be a little interesting, and Carter, you might like this, Kyle Connor.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think he is a real dark horse because last year he did really well. I think there's a chance that he does regress, but we also forget, like, we're talking all about, and I believe, Carter, he's in a contract year, right?
Maybe.
So we're talking all about Kaprizov and McDavid and all of these different players. Kyle Connor's there too. So I mean, like, that might be a real dark horse, but Connor did finish 7 last year, so it's not like it's like that insane if you base it off of last year's numbers. All right, Norris Trophy. Here we go. Mike,
I'm starting off. I am going to go with a guy that I always ride with, Jake Sanderson. If I think Ottawa's going to have a good year, he had 57 points last year, despite it being like very lucky at 5-on-5. He had like a horrible on ice shooting percentage. I think Ottawa's going to be a pretty good team. I think Sanderson is the one guy in that team that really, really intrigued me last year in terms of taking that step offensively. He's always been so good defensively, where I think he easily could finish top 3 in the Norse.
all right, Jack.
I've got Darlene.
Okay, I like that. That. Explain why.
Buffalo guys.
He's just gotten better every year. I think I said this in a previous episode not too long ago. Just consistently getting better, and number 1 overall pick, living up to it. So,
Okay. Carter.
I got Shea Theodore.
Ooh,
That's
hot.
big.
As we know, I like Shea Theodore a lot. I'm a big fan of Shea Theodore. He had his best season last year, where he only ended up playing 67 games but put up 57 points. I think if he stays healthy this year, I think Vegas is going to be good. I think Mitch Marner is going to help him out with points as well. I'd expect a huge year out of Shea Theodore, so I think that he could be a nice dark horse for you.
Lane Hudson.
Whoa!
Back on the
Fan
good
gonna
side
love
of
me
my
for that one.
fans.
Had a great offensive season last year. If he improves, he'll be up there. I mean, he did finish like 7th or 8th last year in the voting as a rookie, so it's not that crazy to say that he would be a dark horse to win the North. I don't think he wins it in his second year. I think he's going to get at least like 2 or 3, but I don't think it happens
2 or
next
3.
year.
Damn. Penciling in
I
a
mean, you
safe
never
Hall
know.
of Fame career.
You never know. You never know with some of these guys. So
He's the 7th best
Matthew
odds.
Schaefer exists.
he does. Oh, shut
He's
up.
coming. He's coming in no
Get
time.
out of here. Get out of here. I better not
Oh
hear
my
my Calder.
goodness.
That being said, Calder, who do you got, Mike?
Sam Renzel, we talked about him before. He's 50-1 right now for some reason. I'm sure Jack knows he was playing a shit ton at the end of last season. It was like 23 minutes a night. He's basically their number 1 defenseman. And for Calder, like, I really just look for like a guy that's going to be in a huge role and be able to put up just like a shit ton of points. Because with like an Isaac Howard, we talked about, even with the Jimmy Snuggerud, like, in a flip of a switch, he could be down to the 3rd line for 20 games. Versus Sam Renzel, I think, is just going to be stapled to Alex Vlasic. I think they have the faith in them being their future top pair, or maybe Leshinov in a couple of years. But yeah, I just see this guy, and even in the prospects, there was clips from him from the prospect game that really impressed me. He's a 2022 draftee; he should be doing that. But yeah, I could easily see 35, 40 points. Demidov has a 10-game injury or something like that. I could see him even winning it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's not crazy. Jack?
Yeah, I've got the same guy. Obviously.
Let's go.
Cool. Jack knows puck. Carter?
Well, I have Jimmy Snuggerud. Obviously, I'm very high on him. I think I'm actually going to put money on him to win the Calder.
I'm putting money on Renzel.
Yeah.
I have another one because I feel like we've kind of talked about Snuggerud a lot, especially in like the hot takes. Axel Sandin Pellikka, I think, could be a guy that could receive some votes.
If he plays
He's
this year.
if he does play, I think that he could be he could be a sneaky Calder guy, especially in Detroit. I feel like their decor is like solid, but I think that he's got some chances to make some offensive plays. And I mean, man, he looked good in like every single World Juniors. I swear I've seen him for like 5 years in the World Juniors, but he's only been there for like 3.
Yeah, I know.
And
Guys.
Back to back.
those Swedes, man, know how to grow turn some young boys into men. So he'd be another guy there. But my main pick would be Snuggerud.
My main pick is also Snuggerud. Me and Carter are like sky high on this kid. So hey, you know what?
Yeah.
If me and you can agree on something, at least it's that.
It's gonna be Renzel.
For one. Well, and favorite teams.
Yeah,
so
true.
we get that.
All right. So we did Calder. We got Vezina up next. Mike?
Vezina. I don't want to repeat this, but I was looking at the odds, and the fact that Olmark is 50-1 right now is crazy. As a guy that has won the Vezina before, as a guy that, again, I think we're just going to be on a pretty good team, not to like completely sens glaze, but yeah, you have like a bunch of other guys that are like 15 to 30-1 that are just not the same caliber of goaltender. Maybe they're expecting like a Levi Merrillainen breakout, but like he should play 50 to 55 games. Has been as consistent as it gets. And like in the league now, outside of the top 3 guys, which aren't dark horses, like nobody is consistent. So yeah, I think Olmark is a potential dark horse. Swayman, I guess I would also say is a dark horse if I have the Bruins getting to 90 points, but Olmark is definitely like the best dark horse value.
Jack?
I've got Jake Ottinger.
Jake Ottinger? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Explain why.
He's just got a solid decor around him, solid team overall. Won't have the puck in his zone a lot, most likely, which will help him. But yeah, I mean, the dude is just a solid young goaltender, and I think he'll definitely have a shot at it this year.
I had to check if Ottinger had one. He does not have a Vezina trophy. Carter?
I have Mackenzie Blackwood. I think Colorado's going to be very good. I think that we saw some nice glimpses of him last year in Colorado. So I'm expecting him to kind of continue on the same path as how he ended, just hopefully not, losing in the first round. But, well, hopefully for my sake.
Yeah, that's true. I got Logan Thompson. I think he was like top 5 though last year in voting, so it's not that insane. But with the Capitals kind of taking a regression, honestly, I think Thompson, even though like I think they are going to take a regression, he's put up very consistent NHL numbers throughout his entire career, above a .900 every single season. So that's cool. But yeah, I think like overall, Thompson's my guy. All right, and then last but not least, your dark horse candidate for the Hart Trophy, Mr. Mike Bartner.
I don't know how dark horse it is because he's 6th in the odds and he's won it before, but I'm going with Austin Matthews, although I'm not like high on Toronto overall as a team. I think when looking at the Hart Trophy, another award that is like very narrative driven, like people are, if he dominates, if he still puts up 63 goals and like 107 points without Mitch Marner, I think that easily could get him a Hart Trophy. And he's like a decent amount behind even guys like Kirill Kaprizov and Draisaitl in the odds. So I think he's a good dark horse pick heading. People are, because he doesn't have Marner anymore, giving up on him, but I think that could actually help him in his chase for it.
I think so too. Jack?
Yeah, kind of a similar pick. I've got David Pastrnak just because of the departure of a lot of guys. That just makes him all the more valuable to Boston. So I got Pasta.
Good pick, Jack. Carter?
I have Mikko Rantanen just because I think if he wins the Art Ross, I think that means Dallas goes absolutely nuclear, and I think that it comes on the back of him. So I think that Mikko Rantanen could be a guy. Could also see a guy like Jack Eichel too. With the arrival of Mitch Marner, I think Bartner talked about the departure of Marner for Matthews. I think the same could be said for Jack Eichel. If he ends up maybe performing better than Mitch Marner, and Vegas ends up climbing up to that 1 seed either in the Pacific or in the West, I think he could be another guy as well.
Well, I'm going to feed off of Carter here and kind of repeat kind of what he said. Kyle Connor is my dark horse guy. Just because of the fact that like I have him as a dark horse candidate for the Art Ross. I think, you don't have to win the Art Ross to win the Hart Trophy. Like that's not how it works every time, but
it helps.
It does certainly, kind of put that a little bit on your side. So there you go. All right. Well, I guess that will conclude this episode of the NordCast, our hot takes episode. Mr. Mike Bartner, thank you so much for coming on the show. We greatly appreciate it. Where can we find you? Everywhere.
On TikTok, MB on Hockey, Instagram, MB on Hockey, Twitter, Mike Bartner, and YouTube, Mike Bartner as well. Go check out those links in the bike ride. Don't forget, September 27th. If you want to donate, that's greatly appreciated. Nordic, thank you for your donation. And yeah, I'm jacked up. Hopefully I can be back on in a couple months or something. I love chopping it up with you guys.
Again, we'll put the link in the description and the bio. Carter, any final thoughts for everybody here today?
No.
No.
I got nothing. I said all I needed to at the start, that we're almost back. Hockey's almost back. You got our hot takes. You got everything to fuel you. All right. You got Bartner's lists coming out soon, which will be hopefully good, but they always are. So see what he's cooking.
All right, Jack, any final thoughts for us here?
Cubs, Phillies, NLCS.
Whoa. I need a Nord.
Whoa,
watch
why was
stream.
that not in the hot takes?
I need a Nord v Jack watch stream together.
Insane.
No doubt.
Carter, I do have one thing for you.
Oh, no.
So, how do you feel that you put the Bills ahead of the Eagles in your NFL power rankings?
Dude, our OC is bad, dude. These route concepts, he is not letting our wide receivers do their thing. Like, it's like, I understand that Jalen Hurts is not the best pocket passer.
What's up with AJ Brown?
Right?
My goodness.
But, dude, the route concepts are so bad that he's not letting Jalen Hurts. Like, he's making all these baby throws, and we're getting, like, no yards. Also, it's 3rd and 15. Why are we running with Saquon Barkley? Go for the first down. It pissed me off so much. Our play calling has been horrible. Our playbook looks horrible. And it's making these Jalen Hurts haters just absolutely happy. And I hate it right now.
Man.
So until the play calling gets fixed, I cannot put the Eagles at 1 because I'm that upset about it right now. It's only week 2, and I'm pissed off about the play calling. This usually doesn't happen until week 3. So maybe Sirianni's got to shave his head, shave our OC's head. I don't know what has to happen. But just figure out the play calling because it is bad right now.
I'm going to pretend like I understand a word you said. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, check out the links in the bio down below. Thank you, Mike, for coming on. We'll be back next week, 125. We are about 3 weeks from the NHL season from that point. We're getting pretty close. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to yet again another episode of the NordCast. If you enjoyed, please subscribe down below or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at NordCast. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, follow at NordCast_. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Nordic. Thanks for listening from all the crew, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.